Hi folks, I'm Jared Bentley. You're watching the Johnson City Press Weekend Review right here on johnsоncitypress.com. This week's Johnson City Press Weekend Review is all about election results. Yesterday was primary day in Tennessee, and voters across the state and region made their choices for representation in the upcoming November elections. Local builder Tim Hicks defeated four-term incumbent state rep Micah Van Huss in the District 6 Republican primary yesterday. With all precincts reporting, Hicks held 57% of the 9,431 ballots cast, compared to Van Huss's 42%. Hicks will now face Democratic challenger Brad Batt, a small business owner who founded an internet software company called BlueZebra Sports, in the general election on November 3rd. Hicks ran a campaign around the theme of a fresh start and is the son of late state rep Bobby Hicks, who served for 2 terms as the 6th District Representative in the Tennessee House of Representatives. Van Huss, a Marine Corps veteran who served as a sniper during 2 tours in Iraq, has represented the 6th District in the Tennessee House of Representatives since 2012 and made headlines for sponsoring resolutions that recognized CNN and the Washington Post as fake news, and another that stated that the mainstream media had sensationalized reporting on the novel coronavirus in service of political agendas. In District 7, challenger Rebecca Alexander trounced State Rep Matthew Hill, running away with 63% of the 8,061 ballots cast in Washington County. She will not face a Democratic challenger in November. Alexander taught high school English for 2 years before venturing into the private sector, working at Philips Consumer Electronics, where she was involved in opening 120 stores across the country. She also raised 2 daughters and earned a master's degree from ETSU in storytelling. Having grown up on a dairy farm, Alexander campaigned on bringing a renewed focus to small farms in Washington County, stressing that there's been a dramatic decline in the number of local dairy farms over the last several decades. Hill campaigned in part on his experience, sending out mailers that highlighted the connections he's used to prioritize road projects in the region. He was named Deputy Speaker in 2019 and campaigned unsuccessfully to replace resigning House Speaker Glenn Casada later that year. In July, Hill held a campaign event in Gray with State Rep Van Huss to honor law enforcement, which was attended by Governor Bill Lee, who endorsed Hill in his latest effort. Incumbent John B. Holtzclaw Jr. overcame a challenge from Carter County Commissioner Robert Acuff in the 4th District of the Tennessee House of Representatives on Thursday night. In unofficial results, Holtzclaw received 4,516 votes to 1,461 votes for Acuff in the Tennessee Republican Party primary. Tim Lingefelt finished with 448 votes. Former U.S. Ambassador to Japan Bill Hagerty and activist Marquita Bradshaw will face off in November to succeed retiring Republican U.S. Senator Lamar Alexander after their respective victories in primary elections on Thursday. Hagerty defeated Nashville trauma surgeon Manny Sethi in the Republican primary, while Bradshaw scored an upset win over former Army helicopter pilot James Mackler in the Democratic primary, despite being heavily outraised by Mackler. Bradshaw will have an uphill battle. Republicans have held both Senate seats in Tennessee since 1994. Hagerty, a Nashville businessman, emerged from a tough challenge from Sethi to clinch his party's nomination. Last July, President Donald Trump let Tennessee voters know he would back Hagerty for the seat months before he declared himself a candidate. Hagerty spent more than $9.6 million on the race through mid-July compared to the $4.2 million spent by Sethi. Several million more dollars combined have been spent by outside groups on both sides. Bradshaw raised only about $8,400 and spent around $5,800 through March, the last time she reported any campaign finance activity, records show. Mackler raised $2.1 million through mid-July, more than 250 times as much as Bradshaw. Those results set up an interesting November for folks in Tennessee. If you want the facts and want to know what's going on during the election, you can always read the Johnson City Press or find us online at johnsоncitypress.com. I'm Jared Bentley for the Johnson City Press. Thanks for watching.